There is a ship sitting in the Gulf of Oman right now that turned around 4 times in 48 hours. It is carrying $2 million worth of oil. It has a crew of 23 men who have not slept properly in 2 days. It has a destination it cannot reach, and it has nowhere to go. That one ship, sitting dead in the water somewhere between Iran and the open ocean, tells you everything you need to know about what is actually happening between America and Iran right now. Not the diplomats, not the press conferences, not the carefully worded statements from Washington and Tehran. That ship. Let me show you why. The Strait of Hormuz is a strip of water at the mouth of the Persian Gulf. At its narrowest point, it is 21 miles wide. The shipping lane going in is 2 miles wide. The shipping lane going out is 2 miles wide. There is a 2-mile buffer zone in the middle. To put that in perspective, the island of Manhattan is 13 miles long. The entire corridor through which 1/5 of the world's oil supply moves every single day is narrower than twice the length of Manhattan. Every single day, 21 million barrels of oil move through it. Saudi oil, Iraqi oil, Kuwaiti oil, UAE oil, Qatari gas, 15% of the world's entire liquid natural gas supply. All of it squeezes through those 4 miles of active shipping lane every 24 hours without fail. There is no alternative. No pipeline that bypasses it. No other exit from the Persian Gulf. Every drop of energy that comes out of the Gulf has to pass through that channel. Which means whoever controls the Strait of Hormuz controls the energy supply of the entire world. And right now, 2 nuclear-capable powers are facing each other inside it. Here is what most Western media never explains clearly. America does not actually need the Strait of Hormuz for itself. The United States became energy independent years ago. American fuel prices would spike if the strait closed, but America would survive. The countries that cannot survive a closure are America's allies and trading partners. Japan gets 84% of its oil through the strait. South Korea gets 78%. India, Germany, France, Italy, all critically dependent on Gulf energy flowing freely through those 21 miles. So when Iran threatens to close the strait, it is not threatening America directly. It is holding a gun to the head of every country America needs to keep on its side. That is why every American president for 40 years has had to handle Iran carefully. Not because they feared Iran militarily, because they feared what Iran could do to the global economy by doing absolutely nothing except parking ships in 21 miles of water. That leverage, that single geographic fact, has shaped every negotiation, every sanction, every diplomatic crisis between the US and Iran for 4 decades. Until now. Today, something has changed. American warships are not just present in the region. They are actively turning Iranian tankers around. A naval blockade, not of Iran's coastline, but of the strait itself. The US has essentially said, "We are willing to weaponize the choke point before you do." That is a move nobody has made before. And it changes everything. Because now Iran faces a choice that has no good answer. If it backs down and allows American warships to dictate what moves through the strait, it loses the one piece of leverage it has held for 40 years. The one thing that has kept it relevant, powerful, and feared on the world stage. Gone. Surrendered without a shot fired. The political consequences inside Iran for any leader who allows that are catastrophic. If it fights back, if Iranian naval forces attempt to challenge American warships in the strait, it is no longer a proxy conflict or a sanctions dispute. It becomes a direct military confrontation between Iranian and American forces in the most economically sensitive corridor on Earth. Oil markets don't wait for the outcome of that confrontation. They react the moment the first shot is fired. And if this standoff simply continues, if the blockade holds and the negotiations in Pakistan drag on for weeks, the slow pressure on global energy markets begins doing its damage quietly. Not with an explosion. With a slow, grinding rise in fuel prices that every government on Earth will eventually have to explain to its citizens. That ship sitting in the Gulf of Oman is not just a ship. It is the physical embodiment of a 40-year standoff that has finally run out of road. Nobody knows how this ends. That is the honest answer, and anyone who tells you otherwise is guessing. But here is what the history of the Strait of Hormuz tells us. Every time this waterway has been threatened, in the tanker wars of the 1980s, in the various standoffs of the 1990s and 2000s, in the drone strikes and ship seizures of recent years, the world has always found a way to keep the oil flowing. Because the consequences of stopping it are too severe for everyone involved, including Iran. Iran needs oil revenue to survive. Saudi Arabia needs the strait open. China, which buys more Gulf oil than any other country, has quietly made clear to Tehran that a prolonged closure is not something Beijing will tolerate. The pressure to resolve this is coming from every direction simultaneously. But pressure and resolution are not the same thing. And in the gap between the two, in the days and weeks of negotiations happening right now in Pakistan, that ship in the Gulf of Oman keeps turning around, waiting. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles wide. It has shaped the foreign policy of every major power on Earth for half a century. It has started wars, ended negotiations, determined elections, moved markets, and right now it is the single most important piece of geography on the planet. That ship in the Gulf of Oman will eventually find its way through, or it won't. And when we find out which, the world will look very different on the other side. This is Global Buzzes. We connect the dots so you don't have to. Hit subscribe and smash that bell icon right now. This Iran situation is moving by the hour and new videos drop every single week. You do not want to miss what comes next. Drop a comment below. Do you think America and Iran reach a deal, or does this spiral into something bigger? Tell me exactly what you think. See you in the next one.